afternoon, everyone. We're going to get this webinar kicked off here in just a second. I'm the founder and CEO of American Business Systems, and I do these live interviews with some of our licensees because I love to hear success stories from people who've been through our training and are now graduated. You know, we've been doing this for about 25 years now. Yeah, started back in 1994, licensing other people, teaching them how to duplicate the success that my wife and I had back when we were actually doing medical billing ourselves in the early 90s. And here we are today. We've got hundreds of licensees from coast to coast. We're the nation's largest network of independent medical revenue managers. And we'll talk a little bit more about that with Donyelle here as we get going. I'm the chairman of the board of the Medical Revenue Management Association of America, as you can see here on the screen. And you can go to MIRMA.org if you'd like to find out more about that organization. They're the ones that certify you as you go through our training. I'm also a member of the editorial board of Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. This is a print magazine. Yes, they still print magazines. 40,000 subscribers, all medical people in medical offices from coast to coast. And I have articles in that on a regular basis as well. I have several books out on the market. You can go to Amazon right now and find how to reprogram yourself for success, the new thriving medical practice, cash crunch to cash flow, and 9 ways that physicians let money slip through their fingers. So with all that, what do? Well, we teach people how to actually do medical billing for doctors. That's right, doctors need somebody to do their billing. Now, sometimes they have people in their own office, but a lot of times they'll outsource that to another company who specializes in that. And we have the only cloud-based system that's out there that allows you and the doctor to use the very same system to not only do the billing, but to have an electronic medical record system and a patient portal all in one. We're also the only company that has all of that, and we are the clearinghouse. That is, there is no third-party clearinghouse that you have to get set up with and depend on them to look at your claims and approve them and send them on to the insurance companies. We do all that ourselves, and that's why our rejection rate is less than 2%. Yes, you heard me right. Nationwide, that average is about 34% rejection rate on the first submission of claims, and ours is less than 2%. That means more money in the doctor's pocket, which means more money in your pocket as well. You can check with the Better Business Bureau here in Fort Worth, and you'll see we have the highest rating they have, which is an A+ rating. And with that, I'm going to go right over here to this slide, which talks about all the different services that you'll be able to offer if you become a licensee. Now, this is kind of like a it's kind of like a franchise, except we don't have territories. Your territory is the entire United States. You can sign up doctors in any of the 50 states. And once you're certified, of course, you can also offer all of the other services that we have for doctors, in addition to medical billing, which is your primary revenue source. You also have Quick Collect, Auto Card, Choice Paid, iDocs Now, Compliancy Guard, CodeWrite, and Audit Guard. And if you're not sure what all that is, you can find out more about that on our website, which is absystems.com. Okay, so here is Donyelle, and I'm showing this picture here because Donyelle actually graduated from our training back in late January, I think. Okay, let's get her on here. She's in the background there. I had her turn her webcam off, but Donyelle, are you still with us back there? Hey, there she is.
I'm here. Hi.
And Donyelle, you are live from North Carolina, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And do you remember this picture? This was back in, I guess, late January.
Yes, I remember that picture.
Quite a change in your hair. I like your hair. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I also have another picture here, I think. Yes, you sent this to me, and tell us about this picture.
That is a family photo that we took in Charleston, South Carolina, which is where we're originally from. So that was Family Day, and we had family photos.
You know, I've been to South Carolina one time, and man, I shouldn't have gone in August.
Oh, yeah, it's humid. It is hot.
Yeah, it was really hot. I don't know if it's any different in North Carolina or not, but it was hot that day.
It's different.
So it looks like you have 2 daughters and a son.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And your oldest there, I guess she's, you said in high school?
Yep, she's going to 9th grade this year. And then the little one, she's 4, and my son is 12. And that's, of course, my husband, John, is sitting next to me.
Yeah. Now, is he involved in the business with you at all?
No, he's not. He's a truck driver, so we're both entrepreneurs, but totally different industries.
I remember him telling that story when he was down there. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, hey, thank you for being on here today, Donyelle. These are just people like you who are looking into the business. I guess you looked at us for a little while before you got involved with us, or was it kind of an
Yep.
instant thing?
For about 6 months, I was doing exactly what everyone else was doing. Looking at these videos, doing my due diligence, checking references and checking around. So, oh yeah, I was looking for a while.
Edward says, I love Charleston. So they're paying attention to what you're saying here. Well, that's an amazing story. A lot of people are on these for several weeks, before they decide they want to go through our training. Our record is like somebody's been with us for 2 years. Yeah, they've been attending these webinars for 2 years.
Wow.
We've been doing them for, at least the last 10 years, even though we've been in business for 25. The technology just wasn't there until about 10 years ago to get this kind of interview, live. So it's a great story. Now, I'm going to do this, folks. I'm going to open up the question box here for those of you who'd like to ask questions directly to Donyelle. Remember, this is somebody, if you've been looking into our business already, then this will make a little bit more sense. This is somebody who's gone through the due diligence that you're going through right now on our company and this industry, and she made that decision to move forward. And I'm assuming it's turned out to be good for you, has it?
Yes, absolutely.
Now you're in your office that's away from home, right? You actually have a little rented office space.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And although you don't have to do that for me, for my own, sanity, I wanted to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So, we actually have a 2 office, little office space here that we rent out, my business partner and I.
Yeah, that's great. We have an office that's a few miles from here, but we're moving more and more virtual nowadays. All of my staff, my support people are in California and Florida and everywhere in between, and I've got a guy now in Atlanta. So it's just a virtual world that we live in, and I like
That's
it.
right.
This is my home office. I'm actually sitting in. I love it here because I've got my whole library here. I'll turn it here so people can see. See, it really is a room. Yeah, some people think I've got a staged background here. This is just a window. And I was doing this one time, turning the computer like that. This is an iMac computer, and there's a button right over here where I grabbed it. That if you touch that button too long, it just shuts down your whole computer, and the whole webinar just ended.
Oh no.
All right. Well, Edward starts out with a question here. This is a good one to ask you. How much of an expert in medical billing do I have to be?
Well, I wouldn't say you would have to be an expert in medical billing. There are some things to it that you will need to know. And certainly when you go to training, you will learn a lot of the things that you need to know. But I wouldn't say that you have to be an expert.
And it's a lifetime learning experience, isn't it? That's what's great about this industry. You're always learning something new because the government changes its rules and regulations. And
that's right.
And insurance companies are changing their stuff all the time. So, but the nice thing is that we, as a company, of course, help our licensees keep up with that. We have a private website that I don't know if you're still logging into it now, but we've got the LSS, we call it the licensee support site, and you can log in there 24/7 and get all kinds of resources, recorded webinars, training sessions that we've recorded, and so forth. Have you been on some of our licensee training webinars or seen them recorded even?
Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been busy here lately, so I haven't been on them, a whole lot like I was in the beginning when we were in the startup phase, but I have. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got another one coming up here, I think in 2 weeks. We do these every couple or 3 weeks, and this one will be on that new service that we talked about in your training. I think we had it at the time, Compliancy Guard. Do we have that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, that has to do with HIPAA. Now, that kind of brings up a good point. We were talking about it earlier, Donyelle. Tell us about the way you've used one of the services that you just happen to know a little bit about to get your first clients.
Well, I use credentialing services, and that may be in our, I think it was the physician's toolbox. But to get in the door, I started talking about their credentialing, where they credentialed with different insurance companies, or we call them insurance panels. And that's very essential, because if they're not credentialed, the claim won't go through and it won't get paid. So I found that a lot of doctors weren't credentialed with certain insurance panels, and they just needed someone to do the paperwork. And I was that someone and was willing to do it for a fee, of course.
For a fee. You learned that from us, didn't you? We used to tell people in training, look, when somebody asks you if you can do something, just always say yes, but tack on for a fee. Then whatever it is that you have to do, you can always charge them for it. And of course, we have licensees like you, Donyelle, that are experts in doing the credentialing. And if people don't know anything about it or don't want to mess with that paperwork for doctors, we can offer that to our licensees through people like yourself. And you charge them a fee, you make money, they mark that up a little bit to the doctor, they make some money at it. But the main thing is that they can always say that they offer just about everything, right? It's just a...
That's right.
Yeah. You don't want to say no when they ask you something like that. And one guy, Donyelle, this has been about 5 years ago. This was an older fella. He had retired from the automobile industry and decided he wanted to start this for some reason. And he said the first doctor he talked to asked him if he did credentialing. Well, at that time, we didn't mention it in training because it wasn't a big deal. And he literally told this doctor, well, yeah, let me check with some of the people at my office and I'll get back with you on some details on that. He had no idea what credentialing was. So it's kind of like you fake it till you make it, right? But he
That's right.
Support people, shared with him, what it was all about, and gave him enough information to give the guy some pricing, and then, he signed it up. Because brand new doctors, I mean, when they're right out of college, they've got to get all that paperwork done with all those different insurance companies.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about your clients. First, let me ask this question. I think we answered Edward's about Edward, you don't have to be an expert like Donyelle said, but you have to know enough. And we give you enough in our training to get you off and started in the business. It's a lifetime learning thing. You're just continually learning. That's why we do these regular training webinars for our licensees to teach you even more. But on the licensee website that I'm telling you about, we've got dozens of videos that you can watch that will train you on each one of those subjects that you need to know more about. So even though our training probably, depending on how fast you can go through it on your own, you might put in 10, 12 hours of just data absorption, but then always more to learn out there on the website. Yeah. So
I would also say with that, it's something that some things you don't know until you actually start to do it. And that means by, being in the business, submitting the claims, following up, calling to find out why. A lot of it is hands-on, and you won't know it until you start to do it.
That's true. And you don't need to know everything at first.
Right.
So I'm going to shut off that slide just for now so everybody can see our faces full screen here. Okay, so here's a good one here from Solomon. It says, why did you decide that ABS is for you? Because Donyelle, as you know, there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet that you could have gone with instead of ABS.
Yeah.
So what was it that kind of pointed you towards us?
Honestly, I've been in medical billing for years. I'm a certified coder, so that wasn't my issue. The main thing that I was really intimidated by was getting out there and figuring out how am I going to market to the doctors, and I just didn't know that piece of it. I didn't, and that's what drew me to ABS, because I felt that you guys are going to show me how do I go out there and get the doctors. That's what I didn't know how to do. I knew how to do everything else in my mind, and so that's what drew me to you guys.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time and money, of course, developing. Let's see if I'm showing that slide of all of our marketing materials. Yeah. So we've developed books that you can put your name on that are written by doctors. We give you that credibility and give you the tools that you need to go out and do it. Now, I don't think you used a lot of these tools, though, because didn't you say your first doctor was somebody that you got from a referral, kind of a warm market?
Yeah, my first doctor was a doctor that my business partner worked for many years ago. And so that was our very first client. And then the second doctor came by just Googling medical revenue providers in my area, and we popped up.
And
So,
website, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Google, they found you.
That's right.
Yeah, and we teach, that is one of the methods we teach, by the way, folks. You heard me use that term, warm market. And that just means people that everybody probably knows some doctor, might even have a relative who's a doctor, and they may have even shared with them that they're struggling right now, to stay in practice because of all the changes and lowered income, so, the average doctor used to make $350,000 a year, a general practitioner. Now it's about 185, which sounds like a lot of money. It is, but it's not what they thought it was going to be,
Right.
So, yeah, that's why they need our help.
Oh, yeah.
So Edward says, what are the things that you feel are most important to know now that you know versus when you started? Does that make any sense?
Well, for me, it's going to be not overextending myself. Those are one of the things, because when you're just starting, you want the business, you want to get that contract. And sometimes, you will do things feeling like, okay, I'll do this and this will land me the client. And that's not always the case. So now I make sure that I set prices well. I don't back off of what my percentage is, because I know what I'm worth, So I would say that's one thing I kind of didn't know in the beginning, because I just wanted to land that first client. But now, no. I set prices and I stick to it. Yeah.
That's a good point. We try to teach that in our training to people, but everybody wants that first client so bad, that they'll say, well, I'm going to go in there and give them a little discount. But the problem with that is, as you probably have found out, if you tell one doctor that you're going to do the billing for, let's say, 5%, and you should have charged 7%, then that doctor will tell the next doctor, if it's a referral from that doctor, they'll tell them, hey, she does it for 5%. I mean, you can have them swear on a stack of Bibles that they're not going to tell another doctor.
Oh, they're going to tell.
Yeah, it's just human nature.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Okay, and let's see. Oh, this is from Maritas. Says, what type of marketing worked best for you? Well, you just got the 2 clients, and the warm market is an obvious one that people don't even think about, actually, till we teach them how to think through what their warm market is. You're not trying to sign up your friends and relatives like a multi-level marketing company, because you don't have things to offer most people, but those people probably know doctors or know people who know doctors, and so
that's right.
And then there's the internet. Obviously, we give you a professional website and show you how to get that set up, so that you do have something to point to, and so that Google can find you out there. So that helps.
Yeah.
Now, you haven't had these clients long enough probably to even see if they have some references, but that'll happen somewhere down the line,
Well, actually, our first client, she has referred, let's see, 2 or 3 people to us, and we've been doing their credentialing. So we're still in the process of doing their credentialing, with the hopes that after we finish that, we will get a signed contract to do the billing.
That's fantastic. Well, I didn't realize that. Well, good. So the referrals are already starting to come in, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Donyelle, I've interviewed licensees who told me that, look, we teach about a dozen different ways to go out and get clients. And they said, we just tried 1 or 2 of what you taught us and got our first client. And then after that, we've done no marketing. It just happens. It grows organically,
I'm feeling that that's coming our way soon, because we're just getting so busy. We usually try to dedicate at least 3 days a week to marketing, but with credentialing and getting the other 2 practices up and running, because we're still in our implementation phase right now, we have just been slammed. So getting out to market like we used to is becoming very difficult. It's not a bad thing, though.
Yeah, it's a good thing, right? And now, have you got any references of doctors that are outside your immediate area, like in another state?
All of the doctors so far are within our state, but they're in another city, which is about maybe 3 hours away from us. So, yeah.
Good. Yeah, that'll happen more and more. You'll see, I've got licensees who never, they sign up one doctor in their city and the rest of them all were just referrals from referrals from referrals, from coast to coast.
Hmm.
So they've got clients everywhere. Because, as you know, there's no territory. So you don't
That's
have to worry
right.
about it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Here's one from Don. How long have you been in business with doing medical billing? Well, you were in medical billing working for a doctor, right?
Yeah, I actually worked for a practice based in New York, but they are here in North Carolina. So I worked for them for several years, and of course, I did medical billing when I lived in South Carolina. So I had many years of medical billing experience, and I am a certified coder. But as far as our own business, we started in December of 2018. In January of 2019 is when we came to the training.
All right. And he says, how many people do you employ? It's just you and your partner, is that right? Or
It's just me and my business partner for right now, but we are really considering bringing on one or two people just to kind of help with some basic data entry things right now. And being that school is about to get back in, I did employ my daughter who's 14. She could do a lot of that stuff, but school is about to start here in North Carolina, so we're going to have to find someone.
oh yeah. Hey, I tell people this is a great family business. You can put all your kids to make them work their way through college by doing your billing for you.
That's right.
All right, let's see these other two parts of this question. Do you have any salespeople? I think you answered that when you said it was just you and Phyllis, right? Or is all your business by referrals? And you've already said that you're already growing it by referrals. Do you do any advertising?
No, I haven't done any advertising. I mean, the only advertising I've done was through the direct contact. That was one of the strategies that we learned in training, just going out there and marketing, and that was it. But I haven't done like any radio ads or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. Um, let's see. Jason says, "Hey guys, I'm actually a brand new licensee. Oh, well, great, Jason. Yeah. And what has worked best for you in regards to getting to the analysis meeting? In other words, you talk about the practice analysis. Have you done that for these doctors yet, or?
I have. What has worked best for me? I try to go through that and shorten it up as much as I can because some doctors are just really busy and they
Yeah.
will tell you off the bat if they don't have time to go through the whole thing. So I try to get the most important pieces that I can to, come back to them with the actual report, the analysis of what I can offer them. So it just helps to look at it beforehand, see what you can eliminate for the time being and what you can come back to later. Because a lot of doctors are busy and they don't have the time to sit through the whole thing.
Yeah, we've got what, like 4 pages now, don't we, of questions that you
Yeah,
can ask, but you just kind of
yeah,
shorten them down and ask the ones that you need to know the most. Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, Jason just went through training a couple of weeks ago, I think, and he's really, boy, he's just doing everything we taught him to do. I'm glad you're on
Nice.
here, Jason. He's even here listening to new licensees that he doesn't know. So that's what's great about
Hmm.
this network is you get to hear and benefit from the experiences of other licensees that they're in different parts of the country. They have a different background and experience than
Hmm.
you, but you learn from all of it.
That's right. Yeah, and I did the same thing that he's doing. Even after training, I would still look at these videos and try to find out what are they incorporating that I can incorporate for Phyllis and I to get us moving in the right direction because obviously they're doing something right. So, and I would say do not go off the beaten path because that just takes you down a whole nother a whole nother road.
I've heard that so many times from licensees. Some of them have actually said, Patrick, I went out and I tried my own thing, and then I couldn't get a client. Then I went back to what you guys taught me, and once I started doing what you said worked, you know,
Yep,
it just works.
it's
That's my
true.
system. If a person can follow our system, it always works every single time.
Hmm.
Now I'm just going to pause. I see some more questions here, but I'm going to pause and show another slide here. Let's talk about this book. This is the New Thriving Medical Practice that I co-authored with Dr. Vicki Ratner. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I have a blow up of the bottom of that book. Can you see down at the bottom there? There it is. see the forward by Susan Smith. This could be your name here, and of course, Donyelle, you've already had books printed with your name down there. Comma CMRM, that's Certified Medical Revenue Manager, and that's your certification right there on the book. Look, your name's right beneath mine. That's pretty impressive. Oh wait, you don't know who I am, but they know that Dr. Vicki Ragnar is a doctor, right? And that's all that really counts, is that your name is on the cover of a book. Now, on the inside of the book, I've got another page here. Anyway, on the inside, you get to put your contact information. So your company name, website, phone number is all right inside the book there. So it's a great marketing tool.
It is.
Yeah. And your partner even had some printed with Phyllis, right, with her name on it.
Yep, she has a few as well that she actually, to be honest with you, she gave this book to our first client. She gave him this book. And when he saw that she had partnered with someone that was so knowledgeable, he was just ecstatic.
I didn't realize that he gave it to a doctor. His office manager called up the next day and said, hey, Dr. Smith has looked through that book. We teach you how to highlight some things and mark it with some little sticky tabs so the doctor doesn't have to read the whole thing. She said he's glanced through the book there and read enough that think he might need some of your services. So he was very impressed by the book that you wrote. Well, of course, it doesn't say you're an author of the book, but her name was on the cover, and that's how they related. There's something magical about having your name on the cover of a book. So that's one book. And then I just introduced, just here shortly, and I think I showed this to Donyelle earlier. You said you hadn't actually ordered some of these, but this is another book that you can use to market with. It's a little bit smaller book. Here, I've got an actual copy here. I'll just hold it up so everybody can see it. And I'm going to stop showing the screen there so it's a bigger picture. But as you can see, it's 10 questions for physicians in private practice. And the single choice that can help your practice to prosper and grow. And of course, that single choice by Dr. Vicki Ragnar is the fact that she chose to outsource her billing. So this is all directly aimed at helping the doctor wrap their brain around the advantages of outsourcing their billing. Because most of them are either doing it themselves with their own staff, or they've got somebody else that they haven't outsourced it to. This shows you all the good stuff that we can do that other medical billing companies can't do. So it's all your advantage. And this one, we made it so that you can actually put your name and contact information right in this space right here. We print these on the books for you at our cost, which this one will only be about $3 a copy. So it'll be a great marketing tool. It's almost like it's an expensive business card. Let's see. Don says, what is the biggest pushback you receive from the client to make a commitment to let you do the billing? Have you had
I think for some providers, they feel more comfortable with someone in the office doing the billing. They may know that, the person sitting there is more expensive than what we're offering, obviously, but it's just the comfort level. They want to have that biller at their fingertips, but it's not as if we're not going to be there for them. We tell all of our providers, call us at any time. And I've had a provider call me, literally, if you tell them that, they are going to call you at any time when they need help with something. But you want to make the providers feel comfortable with you, and you want to build that relationship. But I think the pushback is they just don't want to feel like they're not in control. And it doesn't matter how much you tell them. Everything that we do is completely transparent. You're definitely in control. That's why we're bringing it to you. You can see exactly what it is that we do on a daily basis pertaining to your account. Some doctors just set in their ways, and that's the fact.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're just set in their ways and don't want to change. Change is hard for everybody.
Yeah.
But that's what these books do, is educate them on the advantages of outsourcing. And, I don't know if you've given your doctors access, but with our cloud-based system, you can give them a login and let them log in and see the status of everything.
That's right. And both of our providers have access to everything that we see, they see.
Yeah, it's very transparent, isn't it? I mean, it's not like you can say, hey, we collected, $100,000 for you last month, and you really only collected $80,000, because they can go in and actually see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no way to hide that. Everything it's there for them to see. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see. Edward says we keep saying doctors. What kinds of practices or doctors do we have products for that need these services? Well, it's every kind of specialty that's out there, isn't it?
Yeah, any specialty, honestly, that uses a CMS 1500 HIPAA form.
Yeah, that's a special form that the government came up with years ago called the 1500 form. And any doctor that bills on that form, which is most of them, except for hospitals and dental, of course,
Right.
use that. Now, I just opened up, let me see if I can show this, but here is a document, folks, that gives you a feel for the medical specialties that you can offer. And this is just page 1. Yeah. All of these are doctor specialties that are in your area. Just do some Googling on this. I tell you what, I'll put a copy of this PDF in the handout section for everybody, and you'll have it available to you. But there it is. Yeah, let me drop that in there right now while I'm thinking about it. If you look over there in the GoToWebinar control panel, there's a little section called handouts, and I'm going to drop that in so everybody has a copy of that right now. See, look at all the value you get on these free webinars, huh? Now, those are not your top clients or anything. That's about every specialty we could think of. But in the training, we actually go through with you about the top 10, right? The top 10 specialties that you should be approaching that are the most profitable. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What else here is, this is a question. Well, these are great questions, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Marita says, what percentage is fair to charge doctors for billing and credentialing? Give us a feel for how you charge, just in general.
In general, I try to stay between 6 and 8%. Yeah.
And that's the money that you actually collect for the doctor.
I'm sorry?
That's for the money you actually collect for the doctor.
Yeah, that's the fee that we collect off of everything that we bring in, all the revenue that we bring in for the billing. We get 6 to 8% of whatever is collected. Yes.
Yeah, so let's use an average of 7, and we'll use round numbers. This is an easy one. Let's say we find a doctor that's doing $100,000 a month in billing. There are doctors who do that kind of volume, some of the specialties especially. $100,000 times 7%, you make $7,000 for doing that billing that month for that doctor. Yeah.
Yep.
And they're happy to pay that because it would cost them more to do it themselves. Mm-hmm. Way more. You know, right. The average is actually 24 cents out of every dollar is spent by doctors just collecting the money that they earned. Yeah.
I could believe it.
Yeah. So if you're just charging 7%, that's pretty good savings for them.
And some doctors definitely do try to do their own billing, and they realize that it's not going to work. I'm working with a doctor right now, and he has sent in those claims, and they keep denying. And I think we're almost at the point where we're going to sign him because he's just tired of doing it. It's too much. Yeah. So they need our help. Believe me.
And it's not what they were trained to do. They just kind of wing it when they get into practice as to how to collect that money. They'll find somebody, they'll run a little ad and find somebody who's done some medical billing to come into their office and do it. But then by the time you figure in the software costs, the upgrades, the IT support that you need to run a network, and all the benefits that you pay to somebody and vacations and sick pay and insurance, so it's very expensive, very expensive. About twice. You can save about half a doctor can by outsourcing to somebody like yourself. Okay, let's see. Here's one from Paul. It says, Donyelle, how many physicians have you been able to sign on so far? You probably got it right. But it was
so
2.
I have, just a 2. Well, I guess 3 providers in total because one office has 2 providers and the other is the physical therapist. So we have 3 providers in total.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes we talk about clients, that would be a practice, but within that practice you can have more than one doctor. So those are, we refer to them as providers. That's kind of a generic term that refers to anybody who provides medical services, because some are not doctors, but they provide medical services. Right. An ambulance company, pharmaceutical, pharmacy, those are medical providers, but they're not doctors. Okay, Jessica says, how many of the marketing techniques have you used from the ones that you were shown in the training by ABS?
Probably about a handful of them, 5,
Yeah,
and 2 or 3 work for us.
yeah. And that's really all it takes to get started. They don't all have to work. And I tell people, you might not like some of them. Maybe it doesn't fit your personality, or you don't have the budget,
Right.
It just depends on your personality and what you want to try and what you don't want to try. Have you done any networking, Donyelle? Do you know what I'm talking about there? Going to meetings?
No, I have not done any networking groups. We actually just joined our first group after signing our client, but we hadn't done any prior to that, no.
Oh, good. Oh, you're going to love it. Once you get into networking, it's just like a whole new world out there. Networking, folks, is just where, there's organizations that meet on a regular basis, usually early in the morning or late in the evening, after hours. And you're just meeting with other business people who are trying to connect with clients. And so you're finding what we call power partners, people who their clientele is the same as yours. They're doctors, but they don't sell medical billing. They might sell medical insurance to doctors, or cotton balls, or they might be drug reps. Yeah, and that's where you can find good connections for people.
Well, that was actually one of our reasonings for wanting an office space, so that we, weren't in the home much, and we could kind of connect with our neighbors. So we have been able to connect with our neighbors that are within our business park just by going out and doing some marketing. So we actually have met about 2 power partners by doing that.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people kind of have a misconception about networking and think that it's all about going to meetings, but it's just meeting other business people. It could be your CPA, people who have clients that are doctors that need help. Yeah. We had one licensee, Donyelle, this is out in California. She and her husband built their business so large that they literally bought an old hotel. Yeah, they bought the building. And I don't think they paid cash, but I mean, they were making enough money where they could put some money down and bought the building. And then they opened up their office on the first floor and rented out the other offices to medical providers.
Wow, that was smart.
Yeah, that was pretty smart, wasn't it? Now she has over 100 doctors that she's billing for. So, and that was just in a little podunk city out in the middle of nowhere in California. My wife and I were actually traveling in California one time, and asked her if we could stop by and see it. This was before she bought the hotel. It was a little small office, had 2 people working there, and now she's got a dozen people working for her. So she's really done well. Trainee Martins is her name. If you guys are wanting to see an interview, you know Trainee?
I've seen many interviews with her. Yeah.
Yeah, she is a dynamo. I'm very proud of what she's done with the business. Let's see. Okay. Paul says, what is the major objection that doctors raise when you approach them? Well, you said earlier they like to do it themselves. Is that right?
Yeah, that's really the major objection. They just don't want to change. They don't want to change at the moment. But, until they say downright no, I've continued to send them some pieces of information in the mail, drop by every so often, just to stay on their mind for when they change their mind.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. When people say no, sometimes it just means no right now. It doesn't mean forever. Because, like you said, things change in doctors' offices. Maybe the billing person quits and goes and finds another job or whatever. And at that point, now they're looking for you. But if you keep keep your name, like you said, at the top of their mind, and when they are meeting you, they'll think of you. Most people in business make the mistake of always trying to find brand new prospects, when really the people you contact on a regular basis, if you keep them in a database and do the follow-up with them on a regular basis, they'll eventually do business with you. I don't know if I told this story, Donyelle, in the training that you were at, but sometimes I tell this story about a licensee who was out doing marketing, actually joined a medical society in their county, and went to one of their meetings, sat there at a table with 10 other doctors, and one of the doctors was a lady, I think she was a gynecologist. Anyway, she called him the next day and said, hey, can you come talk to me? I met you last night, and I'd like to, talk with you about doing my billing. So he went, we did a proposal. I went with him. He was here local in the Fort Worth area. So I just went to find out what it was all about. And we made a proposal, but they went with some other company because they were getting proposals from 2 or 3 building companies, and they'd gone with somebody else. So I said, Eric, I said, you put them on the auto card program that follows up with a greeting card, a postcard every month, and let's see what happens. Well, 9 months later, that office manager called us up and said, we went with another company, but the doctor said he'd like to have you guys come in because that company, they promised a real low rate and they couldn't perform. So they went with us. And the reason they did, when we walked in, the office manager said, you guys are the best marketing people I've ever seen. And we said, what do you mean? And she said, well, you were sending me those cards, every week in the mail. Well, it wasn't every week, it was every month. But she remembered us getting those cards so many times that she thought it was more often. And she said, when it came to this other company didn't fulfill, I told the doctor, this is the guys that want our business. They've sent me cards in the mail all the time. So see, we just kept our name at the top of their mind. And that was a hospital. I think she was a gynecologist, but she referred us to a hospitalist, and that guy was doing $100,000 a month in billing.
Wow.
Yeah,
I could believe it.
Yeah, hospitalists can see 40, 50 doctors, patients a day. They just go from one room to the next in the hospital, and they bill for every one of them. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, he must be in medical billing. He knows a little bit about it, at least I can tell. He says, how easy or difficult is it to status the denied claims using the ABS system? In other words, how is it easy to work those claims that are denied, that, the less than 2% that get denied?
Well, it's very easy because within the iClaim system, you have your buckets, you have different work lists that you can use. There's so many tools within iClaim that, honestly, if a claim falls through the cracks, it could only be because you're not following up. But if you set things the way that it should be and you stick to your claims work list rules, you'll be able to get through all of your claims and follow up. So it's not difficult.
This is a cloud-based system, folks. So it's so high tech that you literally can do this from your phone if you wanted to, although it'd be kind of hard to see for me. But you can do it on a laptop, an iPad, a desktop, Windows, Mac. It doesn't matter the operating system because it's all just through a browser. And like she said, it's really, have you done any demos or had us do demos for you, Donyelle, for some of your prospective doctors? Yeah. They're pretty blown away by the system, aren't they, when they see it?
They are, yes. Oh, yeah.
It's leading. I heard them gasp, and you can hear them talking to their office manager. Did you know that we could do that through a billing system? Because they've never seen that kind of thing before. Folks, this is the leading type technology that's out there. Now, Donyelle, I don't know if you worked before probably doing medical billing, so you've seen a lot of systems out there, right?
Yes. I would say by far this is extremely user-friendly, what I'm used to. I love the real-time eligibility, that we're able to check the patient's benefits real-time. It's a huge help to the provider. Before a patient is seen, they know they're eligible, what their benefits are. It's, for the systems that I've worked in, I've had to pick up the phone and call for that information. I wasn't able to check it online.
Yeah, folks, what she's talking about is that you can give access to the office manager and the staff at the doctor's office if they want to. Before the patient comes in, they can click a button and see if that patient is eligible. It goes to the insurance company's database. You've got the information from the patient on their insurance company, right? And when you put that into our system and push a button, it goes out to the database of the insurance company and make sure that they're eligible. If they haven't paid their premiums in 3 months, they're probably not eligible. And the worst thing a doctor can do is spend time with a patient that they're not going to get paid for. Let's see. Don is also asking, what are you able to confirm the monthly billing dollar amount with the client before quoting a rate? I guess he's talking about the 6 to 8% that you quote. Well, in general what their volume is going to be from the questions you asked, right?
Right. Yeah. That's something that actually we do ask to look at one of the reports from the month prior, so we know exactly what they're billing out. We do go the extra mile and we ask to look at that.
Yeah, that just makes sense from a business standpoint. You don't want them telling you that they're doing, $100,000 a month and they're only doing 20,000 a month in billing. So
Right.
yeah, you have the right to ask for that report from their previous biller or system. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Jessica says, have you come in contact with providers who are not interested because they think that you're just trying to sell them something? Have you ever felt like you're selling anything?
Well, I don't feel like I'm selling anything because I know it's something that they need. But when you come into the office, there will be that office manager or just a front desk person that they won't let you get any further than that, and that does happen. That's reality. So everybody isn't going to receive you, well when you walk in the front door, but some of them do.
Well, and that's why we came up with the idea of putting out books, because it's hard for a person that's at the front desk not to give that doctor your book because it's a gift, right? And besides, they don't know if the doctor had asked for the book or not. I've even had licensees put it inside of an envelope, put the doctor's name on there and say, would you give this to the doctor, please? Well, they don't ask questions because you might be a patient giving them very private patient information, so they don't know what's in that envelope. But whatever it takes to get that doctor to see what you've got to offer, that's what you do. And that's some of the methods that we teach in the training. Let's see.
Well, and too, we've also gone around that as well. We do know that, they're there to kind of keep certain people at bay. And we've actually mailed off of the book, and we use this sticker, and we put it on, if you guys could see this, on our packaging.
I love that. Confidential. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we are almost, assured that book will get to the doctor. It will get to the doctor.
Yes, so. Because when an office person sees confidential on the outside of an envelope, they're just not going to open it. They're just going to lay it on the doctor's desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor could just throw it away if they open it up, but who throws away a book nowadays,
Right, no one.
Yeah, no. It was an ingenious idea that somebody came up with, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Paul says, have you figured out the percentage of improvement in revenue collections for your doctors? In other words, what they were billing and collecting versus what you've done for them. Is there a difference?
Well, there is a difference, yeah. And we show them that when we go back with our proposal, and we have a report to show them this is what you were bringing in before and this is what we can bring you. So we do have a tool to show them the difference.
Yeah, that the revenue report, you're talking about that, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Okay, so these are some more things about how you got your first client. We kind of covered that. All right, and Edward's saying, what exactly does ADS supply and provide, and what is the licensee's responsibility for providing? So, folks, I'm sorry, on these webinars, we do so many of them, I forget what I've covered and what I haven't, but I don't think we said anything about the fact that, folks, we're just giving you the tools and the training to know how to go out and get clients, and then actually how to do the billing. But it's your company, and even though we give you access to our cloud-based system, it's up to you, of course, to actually do the billing for the doctor. We're not in the billing business at all. So we're just supporting you. It's kind of like a franchise, and we teach you how to make sandwiches if you don't know how, and you make the sandwiches. Let's see, Don says, have you considered having one standard percentage rate and then offering a rebate or a lower rate to those that give you a higher dollar amount in billings? In other words, if the doctor's doing 50,000, you might give him a better rate if he's doing 100,000, right?
Well, yeah, we've considered it. We have. And we've actually, like I said, we've submitted proposals before, and we've come in too high and we've come in too low. So some things you just kind of don't know until you're going to do it. So it's just been some lessons along the way.
Yeah, it's like any business that offers discounts for volume. You know, he gives the example here, like if it's up to 150,000, is it 8%, and then everything over 150,000 would be 7%. Now, I've actually never heard of a licensee doing that, but I guess you could do that. Tell the doctor if we bill 50,000 a month for you, it's at this rate, 8%, but then if you get to 75,000, we'll drop it to 7% for the whole, you know, amount. Yeah,
Yeah, you could.
yeah, the great thing is that it's your own business. You can do whatever you want to do, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And then he goes on to say, then everything over 200,000, it's 6% and so forth. Yes, Don, it's your business. That's the great thing. This is not a franchise, so we don't have any guidelines or minimums or anything like that. You can set any rate you want to. Now, we suggest that you at least pass that by our support people, you know, and let us give you our opinion on how you're pricing something before you roll it out. If you want to, it's up to you. You don't have to, but we're here to help you with that kind of stuff. At least at first. You know, most people don't need our help, to be honest with you, after, you know, the first 6 months, 9 months, they know what they're doing by then, right? Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Marita says, the proposal tool is part of the ABS training. Yes. Yeah, I wish I could find that. Maybe I can while we're talking here. But the revenue report is, I think, the thing that people are kind of confused about. And if I can find that, I'll just throw it up here on the screen. Because, folks, we came up with an ingenious, it's just a spreadsheet. Basically, you drop the numbers in that the office gives you when you do the practice analysis. And then you simply come back with a printed report that compares what they're now doing and what their current rejection rate is compared to what you can do for them. And there's usually a huge savings for that. Let's see if this is one here that I'm opening up. I'll put it up here on the screen. Let's see. Is it opening? Yes. This is the revenue report we were talking about, and I'll just kind of give you a little glance of it here. This is let's see. I got to get to my Excel. Here we go. See if we can see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is the practice revenue report. And as you can see, we even have some notes out here. Of course, when it prints, it doesn't show, you know, all this stuff over here, but it tells you exactly how to plug the numbers in. And once you plug them in, it'll show you how much you're going to, you know, increase their revenue. This doctor, we're increasing the revenue $15,000 a year. Usually it's much higher than that. But it's just an example. Yeah. So that report is pretty impressive to people who see that compared to what they're doing now. They make their own decision. It does all the, quote, selling for you, doesn't
it? Yes.
All right, we got 4 minutes. I'm going to ask another question or two here, then we're going to wrap this up, folks. I'll be on here and talk to you a little bit more about our training and so forth if you want to know more about what we're doing here. But so Edward says, so I don't need to go to one of those schools and get certified with a CPC or something of that sort? I mean, you can. People have gone after they've gone through our training to get further training. It's up to you, but you don't have to do any of it. Now, right. Dr. had some background in medical billing when she found us and bought the license, but we have most people that go through our training have, well, I imagine when you were in the training class, you heard other people, and there wasn't probably a whole lot of people that had any background, right, in medical.
I was the only one that had any background in medical billing and was certified in coding. The only one. And then I think it was about 20 of us in that class.
Oh, class, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Edward, you don't have to do anything else. We certify you. In fact, let me see if I can find it here and I'll show you. We actually give you a certification. This is what it looks like. And this is basically the certification that you need to be able to tell a doctor that you've at least had some basic training and have been certified to do their billing. So the Medical Revenue Management Association of America issues that to you, and that's all you need. That piece of paper, folks, is as good as any piece of paper that's out there. There are a lot of different organizations, but they all came up with their own certification and their own certificate. And so there's nothing special about it, but some people like to feel like they at least have got some certification they can tell the doctor about. So, all right, Paul says, on the average, how many hours are you spending to do the billing support? of your three providers. What time do you think you put in actually doing the billing?
To be honest with you, not a whole lot. I would say about maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, because right now we're doing a lot of credentialing. So credentialing is definitely taking precedence over the billing, but the tool is so easy to use that the billing does not take up a lot of your time as other systems that I've worked with would have. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most licensees will tell us, folks, that after they kind of learn the system and figured out how to get around it could take over 2 minutes to do a claim. It's just not that hard.
Yeah.
So if you've got a doctor that's seeing 20 patients a day, 20 claims, you could probably do that within an hour and a half at the most. So.
And, for me, it's also doing that and the follow-up, if there are any things that I need to follow up on. But for the most part, it doesn't take up a lot of time.
Yeah. Edward says, to be clear, I do not want to. He's talking about going to school and getting some more certification. You don't have to. No. Let's see. Paul says, how about the posting of the insurance remittances? Yeah, that takes some time, right? You're tracking the money that's actually coming into the doctor and posting that in the system. But again, I don't know if you're using electronic remittance, but you download a file and it puts it all in there for you. Yeah. So you don't spend a whole lot of time outside of the tracking of the money that comes in, and that's what he's asking. And one last question, Edward says, am I able to hire employees and get them certified as well? Yes, Edward, we can take your employees through any of the training. Again, once you're a licensee, you have access to all that training that's been recorded and is on our licensee support side. So, all right. Donyelle, thank you so much for being on here today. As you can see in the questions, you have a lot of interest of people who are looking into the business, and I'm just going to throw this out. I haven't asked you ahead of time, so I'm just wondering if you would take a phone call or two from anybody who wanted to talk to you, one-on-one.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, you need to get back with the person who invited you to the webinar. We call them our business development reps here at the office, and any of those people can get you Donyelle's contact information to have you contact her. And Donyelle, thank you again. I hope you enjoy your iPad. I appreciate you taking the time to do this today, and keep me up on how your business is growing, okay?
Thank you. Will do. Good luck, everybody. You'll do great.
Thank you. All right. As she signs out there, I'm just going to stay on here just for a second, folks, and tell you a little bit about the training. I mentioned it earlier that you can do this virtually now if you want to, but I didn't mention that we have a money-back guarantee. So let me put that up there and show you. We're the only medical billing training company that offers a 100% money-back guarantee. Here's what it says, basically. If at the end of the medical revenue management training course, for any reason or no reason at all, you do not think that this business is right for you, forgot the word you, is right for you, we will issue you a full refund of your license fee. So people ask me all the time, how do you do that? How do you stay in business? Well, folks, we know what we have, and we are willing to put our money where our mouth is, right? And in the 25 years, to be honest with you, we have given some money back. A handful of people have asked for money back. We do that from time to time, but it's usually a very unique situation in their own lives that have caused them to decide that this is not for them. But in any case, it's there. It's there so that you can feel good about making that investment. Any other company that you're thinking about going with to learn about this business that doesn't have a money-back guarantee, think carefully about that. Because once you've sent them the money, you send them the money, right? And there's no guarantee. Ours is in writing, in the agreement. Ask to see that agreement. Ask the person who invited you to this webinar to see that agreement. Now, we've got those classes starting here within the next couple of weeks, so if you want to get started fast, that's a real easy way to do it. And like we said, we do it all with live instructors online through virtual training, and that's the future. So we've got it worked out to where you don't have to do any travel or stay in a hotel or spend any time away from your kids. Well, maybe you want to spend time away from your kids. But in any case, you can do it right here anytime that fits your schedule. So thanks for being on here today. I see a few more questions here that I'm going to answer. Those of you who want to hear the answers to these questions as well. I'll certainly tell you a bit more about these, and you can sit in on this. Oh, here's Edward. He says, nobody invited me. I just found you via searching. Oh, good. Well, Edward, just call that number and tell somebody here that you'd like to get some more information. Now, folks, I haven't mentioned this today on this webinar, but we do these webinars every week. And we try to share some good information with you every time, like today's, where you're hearing from people who've been through our training and their success. And we also want you to know that you can always see other interviews by other people that I've interviewed in the past, all out there on our YouTube channel, Why ABS. That's it, youtube.com/whyabs. And you can see those other 70, 75 interviews that I've done so far. And we'll give you all the information you want. If you'd like to talk to some people like Donyelle, we've got many licensees who've given us permission to give out their phone numbers. Again, just let us know that you'd like a reference list, and you can call some of those people and talk to them personally and see what their experience has been with ABS as well. Kazi says, when is your next training? Kazi, the next training starts within usually about 2 days of the time that you complete your paperwork with us. So we have rotating, ongoing instructors who are teaching these classes live now over the internet, one-on-one with you and whoever else you want to sit there in on the training as well.